see that back there? I got that. Oh,
Okay.
interview this man.
All right. First, what's the word? It's MBN today, Mr.mad. I'm here with two new artists today. Would you want to introductions?
So my name is Rob, but everyone in the world knows me also as Nibor. I've been doing music since like 2098.
Okay. And we got who are you?
93 Energy.
Who are you?
93 Energy.
This is 93 Energy, and this is.
Nibor.
And today we're gonna be interviewing these two artists. So, first questions. I'm gonna bring out the notebook.
I'm having fun. This is great.
like it.
Yeah. Hello world.
Yeah.
Dot. Oh, all my programmers. Where the programmers at?
First question. What does you know? What is an artist?
Yeah, well, what is an artist? I would say an artist is one who expresses themselves creatively, you know, and evokes an emotional feeling, whether it's visual or audio or acting. An artist is mainly a creative person, I would say.
Yeah, I say an artist is a person who creates new worlds and brings the imaginary to life.
Second question. Who do you think is the best artist here in Seattle?
Like best artist in Seattle, that's a
Yep.
tough one because so many great artists here. In my experience, art as in music or as in like
Yep.
painting? Okay, music. Okay. Mm, it's so hard. There's so many good artists. Nirvana, so Kurt Cobain. Hip hop artists, you've got Ghetto Children, Heart. It's not just hip hop. Seattle is home to, a lot of jazz musicians too.
Okay.
So like we've got I really like Rock Fizzle. He's dope.
Rock Fizzle, but I heard of this dude named Seattle's Key, who I think is really sick. And then who is it? I got my friend El Guanaco, who I rock with. So he's a little north of Seattle, but I find his music really sick.
How would you, express your way of knowing that these artists, what would you tell the young generation? And here in Seattle, how will they elevate in becoming the top in this state?
I say they got to show up. You can't just be like a bedroom producer. Like you can make a lot of heat and get known on like SoundCloud or whatever, but you got to like meet people. That's the difference. Yeah, that's the difference.
I think as an artist, you have to be authentic in your music. You need to be very like disciplined with your craft by rehearsing, practicing, and being really, really, really like one of the better like know how to read notes, know how to work in a DAW. I think, and then knowing how to network is important because the relationship building is kind of like the secret to success in this industry, this music industry.
Gotcha. The impact, how does it, how you feel about the music that changed you?
I'd say music has gotten me through some of my hardest parts of my life, and so like that's the gift I want to give to others. And so music is community for me, and so like the impact always needs to be communal for it to be real and for me to do it.
Like, does it make you happy?
Yeah, no, it brings like it aligns my like whole body and like mind into the right place. Versus without music, I always feel like something's missing, like that I'm supposed to be doing.
And how would you feel about in this young generation? What would you tell them? And good advice.
Yeah, don't give up. Uh, your beats and things are gonna not be immediately good, most likely, but it doesn't mean that you don't have like a lot of potential. But our best potential is acted upon through discipline, like Nibor was saying, and knowing music and being in the right community to get connected.
Okay. How would you express about that too? How would you advise the young generation and telling them about what is the impact here in this state? about their art and their music?
I say number one, be authentic with your work. Really communicate, what is in your heart or whatever you're creatively trying to put together. Because if you can express it and if you can express it well, and that'll capture the audience and they will connect with you and your art. Really like listen to your audience. Sometimes listen to the feedback. Sometimes artists, they reject every other feedback. But then sometimes, if you listen to some of it, it's like, yeah.
Seattle, I want y'all to know that I and these people right here with me are great artists. And right now, I want y'all to know, and I wanted to tell them and show them that when you do art, people nowadays are showing and not giving their all in doing their art. So, how would you feel that when you see an artist and who isn't an artist? For example, someone says, I'm an MC, but what makes an MC? Like, what is an MC? Like, how do you evaluate, like, this person is not making art, but, like, like, how can you, I'm sorry.
No, I get it.
Yeah, but, like, how would you evaluate if someone was, like, not actually making the art?
I think we all have like a sense inside of us when somebody is being inauthentic. And so, like, I think the best way is to ask these kind of questions. And it doesn't have to be like in person, but like to think to yourself, like, could this artist answer these kind of questions that you're asking? And if they couldn't answer them, then I'd say their heart isn't in the right place or they're disconnected. And that's going to create a lot of problems. And that's their art's only going to move to a certain stage. And so I think, yeah, like I said, music is community. And so, with that being said, we can see through that. People in community can see, yeah, they never show up to any events, they never holler when I'm invite them to things or ask them how music's going or whatever. And so I think people can see that, and the way artists make a living off of touring is connecting with audiences. And so I think, with that being said, like, folks know when there isn't a connection.
Let's say if someone is doing fake art, it's not even good art, and they're just throwing it out. Like, let's say if you guys, as a producer, someone just makes some funny, wacky, stuff. You know how they are, but still, they're not giving it their all. How would you evaluate it?
Okay, so I'm gonna take it like this. I've made some great music in like 5 minutes because I was just like being creative and I'm not thinking about like rules. I'm just thinking about this sounds fun. Let's add this to that. So that is also authentic. Being inauthentic is being a copycat, and biting. That's the word. So we don't want to bite other people, but like if you can impersonate them, that's also a dope skill. You could tell a fake rapper, or let's just say they're talking about like all their, how big their cars are and wealth and I don't know, money and and clout, political clout. I'd say, violent tendencies, all that weird stuff. You can tell if a person is inauthentic by the way they like deliver their work, their verses, and if it's relatable. Inauthentic work is unrelatable. Someone real recognize real, as they say, right? I mean, like, yeah, yeah, someone who's from the streets, who's from the hood, can see that this is not authentic. Or like a rapper who's been rapping for like 10 years, 15 years, and listening to the words that are being delivered. It's not real. It doesn't make sense, or it's not relatable. So that's, people get called out on that, and that's why it's very important to like be authentic. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you already heard it from them. This is MBM, Mr. Mad. You guys got any final sayings?
Yeah, be yourself and don't quit on yourself.
Okay, how about you?
Have fun and don't quit your day job.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Yo, if you can get a degree.
That's how people produce bad arts. They quit their day jobs too early before.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, like have a backup plan.
Yes. Every most good artist I know, they got a second job. most good artists I know. Very few have a one that just do music, and they just do music. Then they're touring all the time. That's basically how artists are making it now. So be sus of people who quit their day job too early. Yeah, get those finances in order.
Because then you could, when you have all that money, you're just not even thinking about like I want to just create art. I don't have to think about money. It's like I just want to, I want to be secure so I can create art.
There you guys go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and all bios. Peace.
As I look back, I watched him